everyone. Today, September 8th, Pinehaven is joining with people all over the world to celebrate International Literacy Day. The world has been celebrating Literacy Day for 54 years now. Yes, imagine that, 54 years. And this year, the theme is Literacy for a Human-Centered Recovery, Narrowing the Digital Divide. Literacy Day is celebrated to remind us of the importance of being able to read and write. Being able to read and write is one of our basic human rights. It gives us dignity. It makes us feel valued and respected among our friends. Despite the progress made over the years, there are still a lot of people who cannot read and write, even right here in our very own Trinidad and Tobago. But today, Pinehaven staff and students will be sharing with you why they like to read and their favorite authors. Before that, I would like to share with you why you should read and why people read. People read to understand the past. People read to explore the world. They read to help them plan for the future. It helps them to visit places they may never be able to visit in real time. Reading helps them to create great things, to make good decisions, to simply exercise the mind. It also helps to keep people in touch with others. Some people read simply because they can do it, or they just have fun doing it. As a child, I loved to read, but I was not exposed to much books. So I read everything and anything I got my hands on. I read my Bible, my Sabbath School quarterly, and I love reading out my reading books before the September term began. My father would bring home the Guardian newspaper every day, and I would read it. My first book I could remember having was Heidi, written by Eden Blyton. I also enjoyed reading and listening to Uncle Arthur's bedtime stories. Now, as an adult, I am making the books written by Ellen G. White my favorite books. Why? Because they are helping me to prepare for Jesus' second coming. They are also helping me to become a better person. So everyone out there, whatever the reason for you to read, just keep on reading. Because reading is helping to make our society a more sustainable one. Happy International Literacy Day to all.
Hi, my name is Kana and I am here to tell you what I like about reading. I like to read because while reading, I put a picture in my head and I enjoy it more. And also, I like to read because it gives me information about where the story takes place. I hope you like reading as much as I do. Bye!
Hello everyone, my name is Azaria Thomas and I am 7 years old. Reading keeps me informed and also sometimes reading makes me laugh, and some stories. This is the one that keeps me educational when I read it, and this is the one that makes me laugh. Bye!
Hi boys and girls, and a happy Literacy Day to every one of you. As a child, my favorite storybook was entitled The Wooing of Bebotids, written by Mr. C. Everett Palmer. That was my favorite storybook. Why? Because I learned a lot of lifelong lessons from it. Lessons such as being self-sacrificing, loving, kind, forgiving. So boys and girls, don't let today pass you by without picking up a book. You won't regret it. Bye.
I like reading because it's a good way to expand your imagination. It helps you to think more creatively as well as it helps you to grow as a person. It really is a fun way to go all around the world and do all sorts of things that you may not be able to do.
Hi everyone. So my favorite childhood book was Gifted Hands by Dr. Ben Carson. It was truly an inspiring book, knowing that his mother was illiterate and depressed, and she didn't want her boys to end up like her. So she did everything that she could to ensure that they were successful in their studies, and she really sacrificed a lot. So yes, that was my favorite childhood book.
My name is Steve Bryan, and I love to read because it gives me information and helps me to get smarter and better at reading. Bye!
Hi, my name is Kiana Jordan. I am in Standard 5. My teacher is Mrs. Salome Isaacs. I love to read because it is a form of entertainment. Reading helps to widen my vocabulary and improve my spelling skills. Books are educational tools, and that's why I love to read.
Hi, I am Salome Andrea Isaacs, and I love to read. I learned to read while very young, and man, I read everything that I came across. Reading makes you empathetic and it keeps your brain healthy. Did you know that reading can also reduce stress? And it helps you to sleep better. Books add value to life. My favorite childhood authors were Franklin W. Dixon and Carolyn Keene. Yes, I enjoyed the Hardy Boys and the Nancy Drew series. Reading is fun.
Hi, one of my favorite childhood books is The Enormous Turnip. A charming little story. This story teaches young readers the concept of teamwork, and that if you work together, even most enormous of tasks can be accomplished. It's a delightfully humorous book with lovely illustrations that will bring a smile to anyone. This is a great book.
Hi, my name is Avery. The reason why I love reading is because it's fun and it takes me to places where I can't go. And one of my favorite books are God Big Plans for Me. And the next book I love is Pinocchio. Reading is important because it expands my imagination and it's a lot of fun.
I'm Kaya Siran and I'm in Standard 4. I like to read books because when I read books, I learn how other people feel and act. I also learn how to use big words properly in sentences. Reading is interesting. I like to read adventure, mystery, and fairy tale books. Books are important for literacy. Thank you.
Hi, boys and girls. I love to read. I enjoyed reading classics, adventures, Bible stories, and mysteries. One of my favorite books was The Count of Monte Cristo by an author called Alexandre Dumas. It was about a young sailor. He was only 19 years of old at the time. In fact, he was unfairly imprisoned. And he spent many years in prison for something he did not do because of a few persons who were jealous of him. After escaping prison many years later, he sought revenge. The moral of the story, boys and girls, is that you never seek revenge. In fact, you forgive and you move on, because, boys and girls, vengeance belongs to the Lord. And if you don't forgive, your Heavenly Father will not forgive you. Bye.
Alright, the reason why I love reading is because it helps you learn new words, it helps you jog your memory, and you can't expect what happens in the pictures. And for example, I learned a new word called chagaramas. and it also helps you with school. That's also another fact about why I love reading.
Oh, hi, I'm Layla, and I like to read because I learn so much things about animals, persons, places, and things. Reading is so much fun.
Hi, I'm Tyrese Campbell, and I like to read because it enhances my vocabulary, makes me more creative and imaginative, and I get to experience someone else's life whilst reading a story.
Hi! I love to read. How about you? Adventures can be found in the pages of a book. My favorite author as a child growing up was Enid Blyton. I loved the adventures I read about. One of my favorite books was To Put Them Right. These kids went on a family adventure, and you can go on many adventures too. Reading helps to improve your writing, and it just opens your imagination to lots of unknown words.
Hi, my name is Felipe Edwards, and I love reading because it helps me to express myself better. Reading is also a form of education. It helped me to learn things I would not have known otherwise. It is also a source of entertainment. It brings life to the story. It teaches me who I am and where I am from, and possibilities of the future. That's why I love reading.
Hi, boys and girls. Do you like a good adventure? Or maybe a little mystery? While I was growing up, my favorite book was a book series called The Hardy Boys. In those books, I read about treasure hunts and about great mysteries, and I loved it so very much. Boys and girls, if you want an adventure, try reading The Hardy Boys. Bye!
Hi everyone, my name is Margaret Scipio. I am a second-year teacher at the Pinehaven SDA Adventist Primary School. Reading for me is a very essential part of life. Without reading skills, there's no foundation, and so there would be a collapse in the whole learning process. Reading also keeps you healthy. It brings a joy to my heart. I really love reading a good book. In my childhood years, I can remember reading the story of Pinocchio, written by one Carlo Collodi, an Italian author and journalist. Pinocchio's nose grew longer and longer with every lie he told it. Ephesians 4:25 says, "Wherefore, putting away lying, speak every man truth with his neighbor, for we are members of another." The story of Pinocchio had a very important lesson yesterday and even for today, for everyone. I want to introduce you at this time to one of my students who is an avid reader. Her name is Kaya Mouse. Thank you.
I like reading because there are a lot of exciting things in books. I like that some characters are funny and that some stories have beautiful settings. I also like the creative photos. My favorite story is The Pot of Wisdom
and Nancy's stories.
I like to read because I learn new words.
I am Sadie Pilgrim. I'm 6 years old. I like to read because it helps me learn new things. My favorite book is Dinosaur Story because I love dinosaurs.
Hi, my name is Chelsea, and one of my favorite childhood books is Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I love to read Diary of a Wimpy Kid because of the fun words and pictures that makes it very interesting to read and to see.
Hi boys and girls! Carson Keeler once said, a book is a gift that you can open again and again. And this is so true. Even God gave us a book, the Bible, that we can read and learn about experiences, about how He helped persons in the past, and know that He will help us even today. As a young child, my mother would read to me from a series of books. Uncle Arthur's Bedtime Stories. These books would have helped to shape me into the person that I am today. They would have taught me so many lessons about being responsible, being obedient, and just being a good citizen. I love reading, don't you?
Hi boys and girls, happy Literacy Day. Well, when I was little, I loved to read. Actually, I started off doing a lot of scribbling, and I scribbled in these volumes of nursery rhymes that I had in my library. And then one day I realized, I can actually read the words that are in this book. So I started reading those nursery rhymes, and then eventually I was able to move on to more advanced books. And I would read some Sweet Valley High, some Nancy Drew, and eventually, you know what I realized? Not only could I read well, but I wrote well, and I was also able to speak well. And then I was taken to all these different places all over the world and taken on adventures and journeys, and it was such a great experience. But now that I'm older, I can tell you one of my favorite books to read, and it's the Bible. And one of the greatest stories I ever read is the story of Jesus. So I would encourage you to read fictional stories, but try to read your Bible every day. Not only would you expand in vocabulary, but in knowledge. You would find yourself becoming so intelligent. So happy reading, boys and girls.